Recently, in honor of the re-release of Type Soul, there was a testing tournament for the new Battle Royale game mode, full of YouTubers and some ranked players to fill spots of people who didn't make it. And let's just say this was one of the worst events in Type Soul history. Any issue you could probably imagine happening probably happened. There were bugs, the map was unfinished and broken in some parts, there was lag, there were campers, cheaters, and even some people who got banned from the game because of this whole event. And in today's video, I'll be going over my experience with the recent Type Soul CC Battle Royale tournament and why I think it was a huge scam, but not from the developers, because clearly God just didn't want me to win this thing. Anyway, let's just get straight into it. So first of all, it's kind of important to explain how this whole thing functioned. First of all, teams were semi-random. The host had two wheels with names on them. The special threat wheel, which included people like me, Nano Prodigy, and various ranked players and other good YouTubers. And then there was the casual wheel for basically anyone who was non-NA, so if you didn't live in North America, even if you were really good, you were on this wheel because you were at a disadvantage because of North American servers. And then there are also the more casual players on this. And all EU and Asian players were on this wheel. But they really didn't have any disadvantage, which I'll explain later. The wheels would spin pairing one special threat with one casual player, which, crazy that this was random, Nano Prodigy and Agamatsu just happened to be on the same team. Every event that they did in Deep Woken, where they chose teammates, they were on the same team chosen by each other. This was a random wheel, they just happened to get each other. I don't know if they just happened to get that because I wasn't here for the first wheel spins. So let's just say that they happened to get each other on the same team. Anyway, the best scenario you could get by being on the special threat wheel was like an EU ranked player, but regardless, my initial teammate was Builder Boy. I was a little bit worried though, because upon asking if he was good, I was met with responses like this. Builder Boy, is he good?
He's I think he has got good content. We did
that wasn't what I asked.
He seemed like a chill guy, I can't lie.
And I am actually quite upset because since he lives in Asia, he didn't feel confident in his abilities within the game, so he actually dropped out of the tournament to avoid dragging me down. Which honestly, I didn't mind, this whole thing was for fun anyway, but I did end up getting pretty lucky. They wanted to replace Builder Boy with Infernasu, which didn't happen. I got Fated Death on my team, which was still really lucky because Fated Death is also a top 20 ranked player at his peak, which was more recently than my last peak. But regardless, this was a good thing, until the tournament got delayed for 2 weeks. Now, this wouldn't have really been an issue, but they decided to announce it only a day before it was supposed to happen. They gave us 2 weeks delay with no communication in between, and then we got a day of notice before the event, so a lot of people ended up dropping out. They also introduced a lot of prizes. They decided to include prizes for first place, which would be a custom cosmetic with a code which let you give away that cosmetic to 1,000 of your fans, a custom title, and a custom Shikai callout. Second place got the custom callout, and everyone from first through third got some special crown, and then the top 5 teams all got a cloak. It's just a special cloak. Now, I believe they are giving some extra stuff out to, I don't know, people that had bad experiences, which hopefully I get something, because we'll talk about that later. But they literally delayed it to announce it basically the day of, or the night before, so a lot of people can no longer make it, including Fated Death, my new teammate. So on the spot, they give me another new teammate by the name of Captain TTB, and he was actually really fun to have as a teammate. He was pretty fun to have, but this event was clearly divinely rigged against us because God didn't want to see me win with how this all went, because it was so insanely terrible for me and Captain. Now, our team, well, you had to choose a team name, and we were Team Stray. You see, I thought if we only threw out strays, we couldn't lose, but it seems like most people in this event just decided to see a 2v2, and instead of splitting off in the two 1v1s, it would usually just be a 2v2 where 2 people on the aggressing side would just like jump one person and ignore the other person fighting them until at least one was dead. Which, oh my god, terrible strategy. It was so annoying, and half the time it didn't even work against like me and Captain. People would just die for it. It was really funny though. But the battle royale itself is quite simple. You spawn in, airdrop somewhere, and then there's pillars and crates full of gear and skills that either gives you cosmetics if it's a box, or if it's a pillar, it'll give you the option between 3 random skills, or if it's a weird orange golden looking pillar, the option between 3 random Shikais, partial reses, or shrifts. And then they would also be like little mats which would give you proficiency in a certain skill tree, which would basically buff all of the moves that you have from that skill tree. And keep in mind, there are no restrictions. There's no races, so no Hierro, Blute, or anything. And then you could have any move with any move, and it doesn't matter. So you could have like all of the Quincy moves, but then also have all of the Soul Reaper moves. It was really, really chaotic because of this, and there were a lot of things that were not balanced, because normally things like Hollow Bite can't be used with certain moves, you know? But because certain moves were never intended to be gotten with Hollow Bite was really broken in this tournament, making it really funny. But that's not really that relevant. Nothing really came into play with that extensively. Anyway, the first round, or the practice round, started, and it actually went pretty well for us as a practice round. We got 40 points, which for a practice round tied us for 3rd place. You see, 1 kill is 20 points, and then the victory is 400 points, which was accidental, by the way. They didn't mean for it to be 400 points, which was super dominant. One thing really stood out to me in this first practice round, and that was Malibu Vibes. This guy right here is an absolute loser. Keep in mind, this is a practice round. It counts towards nothing, and he's camping on top of a tree and spamming projectiles and self-heal while there's only 2 other people left, and keep in mind, neither of them are in a team. So it's a 1v1v1, and he's camping in a practice round. Immediately, I hated this guy. If he's doing this in a practice round, imagine what he's gonna do in the actual Battle Royale, which is set to be 5 rounds. And I would have targeted him, but he was way too good at hiding. And oh my god, if you thought it was bad in the practice round, because if you were watching the stream, you saw him camp, it was so much worse later. Starting out the first round, immediately our luck was revealed as Captain disconnected from the game.
Bro, it just lagged me out, bro. Oh my.
Are you being serious? You DC'd? You're lying. Is this bait? Is this rage bait? Like, you're fucking with me? He was not fucking with me.
His ping on Discord and his stream were perfect quality, but then for some reason, Roblox just disconnected. This had to be divine intervention. God could not let us win. So the first round went by and we had 1 kill. Since I got 2v1'd, I got a singular kill out of there, which is better than I thought I would because I was the only person without a teammate basically instantly, and I didn't have any decent gear or weapons. So the first round was basically sold. And then this one guy got glitched inside of a hollowed out pillar that's just part of the map, and he was unable to keep fighting. It was actually really funny. Like, just look at this. They are playing pretty passively, just trying to coast with their current points. The 2 are pushing up the mountains. He's taking the new weapon that looks like Baragon's axe. He got knocked off. There's no fall damage in this, though, so getting knocked off doesn't really matter. Hit him with the flowing petals, it looks like, into the crit. Stuck him into the pillar. Who the fuck designed this dog shit map? Oh my god, he's in the pillar! This map fucking sucks. But while spectating, you wouldn't believe who I saw camping on top of a pillar. Malibu Vibes. Guy's hiding from them. He's just hiding instead of, like, trying to kill them or get points or something. He's just playing like a bitch. If they had auto track moves, they could get him. Yeah, they didn't have any. What's the point of him even being in the event? I don't know. Like, this guy's not doing anything. And I'm pretty sure it's Malibu Vibes. So he hides in the test event, and now he's hiding in the actual event. Can we ban this guy? And this guy right here is the reason why I don't think, personally, that non-YouTubers should be allowed into content creator events. Because when people don't care about the content or what's going on in here and aren't playing to make good content, they end up doing lame stuff like this. And this was lame. This was really boring. He sat on top of that pillar until it was just him and a team of 2 who couldn't reach him up there, and he continued to stay up there for like 5 minutes trying to play around the circle before they finally killed him. He single-handedly stalled the rounds for like an extra 10 minutes, making this miserably boring to watch and play in. And at this point, everyone was pissed. The whole Discord was spamming to ban and disqualify this guy and replace him with one of the people on standby, and I was all for it. But the host kind of just ignored it, which doesn't even make sense, because next round, which we'll talk about in a bit, the host decided to call someone else out on camping, but we'll get to that. Entering round 2 was actually quite easy. Round 2 went decently well with us starting and immediately getting 2 kills before getting separated and Captain disconnects again. This was insane. His ping once again remained stable. I had his stream open on my second monitor, looked completely fine, straight 1080p. But for some reason, he disconnected again, and I got jumped. So that's 2 rounds in a row where he inexplicably disconnects and we lose the round for it. And oh my god, more camping. Except this time, it wasn't Malibu Vibes because he got targeted because everyone hated him after the second round. This time it was Nin, who many of you may know from Rogue Lineage. Except this time the admins got sick of it and made a server announcement telling Nin to get off the pillar or he would get kicked. And thank you to the admins for stopping the camping, but this was clearly biased because the person making the announcement mentioned that he gripped them in Rogue 2 years ago, which holding a grudge for 2 years over Rogue Lineage is crazy, but the fact that they called Nin out for his camping after like 2 minutes, but then Malibu Vibes in a 1v2 is camping for like 10 minutes on top of a pillar where they couldn't reach him is insane. He should have been disqualified. Meanwhile, they're only threatening to disqualify Nin for doing it for a fifth of the time, which good, because getting Nin down from there, Malibu Vibes should have been out of there a long time ago. Anyway, after that, round 3 had started, and me and Captain had an amazing start. We landed in a quarry with maybe 15 pillars and boxes for moves and gear. This was like the Tilted Towers of Type Soul Battle Royale, and we got there solo. There was nobody else there, meaning we had this loot uncontested, until this happened.
It's lagging. Oh my god, it's lagging.
Oh, I'm lagging. I'm lagging. I'm lagging. I'm lagging.
It's lagging bad.
This lag is yo, this lag is
Yo,
crazy.
lag is-
Oh, it's good.
Oh, you got AA gun.
I just died.
The devs are selling. Oh
You were kicked
my
from the.
god.
You were kicked. Yeah.
Captain got AA gunned and banned from the game. And so did half of the lobby. In round 3 out of 5, many people just got inexplicably banned and kicked from the game for no reason. And the round had to be recalled. And because of that, round 3 was skipped and 5 was cancelled, making round 4, the one we're about to enter, the last round of the tournament. The one time we got an amazing start, which would have guaranteed us kills, because we absolutely had the best loot and the best gear and the best moves compared to anyone else at that time, the round got cancelled and recalled. You can't tell me this isn't like divine intervention. The one round where we are at the clear advantage with how much stuff we got so early, the round has to like get everyone banned and get recalled. Insane. And even if it wasn't recalled, Captain was still one of the people that got AA gunned and kicked. So even if they decided to keep the round going, then it would have literally just been another like half of my team gone again. So it would have been so dumb. Anyway, entering the final round, this round kills were triple in points, meaning me and Captain had a huge chance to get first place here. And it was our only chance, seeing as how we got cheated out of the first 2 rounds and 3 was void when we had an amazing start. Meaning we had to make basically all of our progress by winning round 4. And we were locked in. Oh my god, we were insanely locked in. Airdropping, we start out and grab as much gear as we can before we run into Nano Prodigy alone and without Agamatsu for some reason. And we jumped him insanely bad. Oh my god, he was gone.
That's 30 points. Ah, 30 points, we got Nano!
And that was triple points to us. And then we get into a heated 2v2 before our opponents started running because of the circle. And we were both like full health, these guys are low, these kills would have been an extra 60 points, immediately bringing us into the top 3 overall at this point. But then, something unexplainable, other than God just couldn't let me win today, decided to happen.
Oh my god, they're trying to hit us into the void.
surprised.
What the fuck?
What happened?
This event fucking sucks! That's what happened!
I got flung. This was our only chance to win, and we could have won. It was so possible. The top contenders and threats were all out of the way at this point, with the only real threats here being Nin and Tana. We would have won the 2v2 we were in, giving us an extra 60 points. The only people left wouldn't be able to put much of a fight up against me and Captain, because at this point we had really good gear. We would have won, and that would have been it. We would have had first place by the end of this event, but that just wasn't in our fate, because I got flung, and as soon as I got flung, the 2 people we were fighting turned around and Captain got jumped. And then the winners of that final round after the tournament were Nin and Tana, with me and Captain ending up in 7th. Even if we died after winning that 2v2, we would have gotten at least 4th and been in the top 5. And I am so confident we could have won against the remaining players, but it just wasn't meant to be. However, something insane happened. News came out Tana and Nin had cheated. Tana was using the free cam feature, exclusive to content creators, to find people for Nin to hunt down when they were hiding, when they got low, so that way they could easily chase them and stop people from running. And because of this, Tana and Nin were penalized. Now the way they did this made no sense, by the way. Tana used free cam to give callouts to Nin. Nin knew that Tana was doing it, but only Tana got penalized. Nin still got the first place prize, despite the fact that he knew Tana was cheating and benefited off of it while cheating with him. But as a consolation, they moved everyone up a spot and kept Nin in first place, and then second place also got the first place rewards. But this didn't matter, because me and Captain still only got 6th. But guess what? If we had been moved up after winning that 2v2, because I wouldn't have gotten flung, we would have gotten at least the second place rewards, because we would have been in at least 3rd. So we deserved at least 2nd after winning that 2v2, and we ended up in 6th because of this. Overall, this event was pretty despicably atrocious. I am so insanely mad that we didn't win that, because all that really mattered was getting that win at the end, and it was so possible, and I got during not only our only chance to win, but what would have been at least a top 3 finish after the readjustments, and a 2nd place finish after the readjustments. But it just simply wasn't in our fate to win. Captain disconnected the first 2 rounds, the 3rd round where we got an amazing start got cancelled, and the 4th round where we had a super good chance of winning, I got flung by nothing. I still don't know what flugged me, but it simply just wasn't meant to be. This was an event for fun, and that is the one upside to this event. It was really funny. Like, there was so much garbage in this event, and it was insanely hard not to enjoy it for being terrible. Like, first of all, there was so much frame and ping lag because of how unfinished the map was. If you guys know who Corgi VR is, another YouTuber and streamer, he was getting killed first literally every round, and it was absolutely hilarious. Me and Captain were just laughing at him, and every time He would die, we'd go into another call to make fun of him or laugh at him on stream. And I came after him, and he was skipping so much, I thought they put King Crimson in the loot pool. Oh my god, it was hilarious how bad it was. And then the map was unfinished with some jump pads not even taking you up to the ledge where they're supposed to. And then overall, making the map vertically oriented when Type Soul has no parkour movement was just a terrible idea from the start. Overall, this entire event was horrible, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever been a part of. I only wish I didn't have much prizes, because the prizes really incentivize people to play like losers, especially if they weren't a content creator. I hope we can one day do another event like this with less non-YouTubers, definitely no Malibu vibes, ban that guy, and hopefully a whole lot of fixes. Hope you all enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, shout out to Goobka, Cyberboy21, and Drizzy Drake fan. I love you all, have an amazing day, and goodbye.